Good evening viewers and welcome to video number 3 at Lightstream Gaming. Today we have Double Dragon 2 The Revenge for the NES. So sit back and enjoy the entertainment. Thank you very much for coming. I hope to entertain you. I hope that you enjoy this walk down memory lane for those like me who played this way back when on the NES. And for those who aren't familiar with it, well, you might not even be familiar with the franchise. You know, there was a cartoon, there was a fighting game modeled after Street Fighter. There was, there have been many incarnations. There was the arcade games. There was one for the SNES, and recently they did Double Dragon Neon for the Xbox One and the PS4. One of the key traits of the Double Dragon series is the difficulty, like many NES games. But I think this one is the most accessible one. Double Dragon Part 1 was insanely difficult, and Double Dragon 3 was Part 3, the Secret Stones. That was incredibly difficult as well. Maybe when I feel like taking a walk on the wild side, I will capture some game footage of Part 3 in it, especially. I'm more likely to pick up and play Double Dragon Part 1. But Part 3, especially without a second player. Oh dear, that game. Oh, the memories. But it was cool at the time because you got to play with other characters besides just the Double Dragon twins. But this Double Dragon 2, this is my favorite in the series. I think it plays exceptionally well. And I think it even plays a bit better than the SNES version. But this is a game I spent a lot of time playing, so I'm not sure if it's just a matter of practice. Much like Ninja Gaiden and Contra, I think these three games are probably ones I played the most on the NES. The only other ones that come close would be Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The original Metroid, I love that game too, but I didn't actually own that, so I didn't play that much. Castlevania 3, played a lot of that. There was a game called The Adventures of Bayou Billy, and I saw somebody made a video on it and was commenting on how terrible it is. But back in the day, that game was really cool because it was some levels were a Double Dragon style side-scrolling beat 'em up. Some levels were driving. Some levels were like light gun shooting. That game was just, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm surprised to see the video with the person saying it was a bad game, because that game was, to me, was amazing. In any case, we're talking about Double Dragon 2 today. And we have this guy with his, I don't know what kind of technique is that. You disappear and reappear in the exact same spot. If it works for you, it works for you. So here's some of those classic NES Cutscenes, simple but effective and very memorable. And another standout feature of this game to me is the soundtrack. Like some of these 8-bit games, the soundtrack was just off the chain. And this game was always a very kind of techno game, you know. Double Dragon was that kind of series, very techno. I don't, but it worked, it fit, it was appropriate, and it was pretty good, you know. I could listen to this. But this game is incredibly brutal. I mean, these guys just take it upon themselves to go around the city and, you know, throw people off buildings, you know, beat them to a pulp, you know, throw grenades at them, throw knives at them, you know, pretty brutal stuff, but it's just entertainment. So, I mean, it's been many years since I've played this game. And it's like seeing an old friend, you know, just coming back to it. And you know, I remember how to do these special moves, the jump and then the uppercut and that kind of stuff. I mean, it wasn't hard, it was just 2 buttons, so oof, these guys were bad news. Alright, I'll buy that further up. But I mean, the cutscenes in Ninja Gaiden were better than this, but still, I mean, it's still effective. There was another game that I owned, that I played a lot of, called Bad Dudes, and there was a Double Dragon clone, you know. Same thing, 2 brothers fighting this gang, and I think in that one the gang had kidnapped the president's daughter, and so very similar to Double Dragon, you know, damsel in distress, and you know, and the trick in this was to make use of those environmental hazards. I love that song when the guy goes out doing the helicopter door. Nope, I'm not. Ah, well, tough break. Yeah, but it was very fast paced. This game was fast paced. I'll be curious to see what my total playtime is if I get to the end, because this game, it just seems to go by so quickly. And I remember these guys with their, I don't know what kind of weapon was that, but much like in Street Fighter, you know, people retreat and then toss a fireball. These guys, they retreat and then toss their weapons. But all the sound effects, you know, they sound so brutal. You know, it's so visceral. Let's. Oh yes, that's what I wanted. Oh. Oh man. Thing about this game, oh man, I took so much damage from those guys. Right. Oh no, this is not good, not good, not good. So I'm doing some meaty attacks. And I'm hoping for their life that, right, good. Whew. And there's no life in this game, no life at all. And here are these things from Contra. Whew. Yeah, this is rough. I'm doubtful I'll be able to make it through this level without losing a life, but oh dear. Oh shucks. What? I thought maybe I would have survived that. Jeez, these guys are bad news. Stop throwing knives. Don't throw knives. Wow. And if I remember correctly, there's a little right. Yeah, you gotta. Whew. Very fast-paced game. Very fast-paced. Yes. Ooh. That sounds so terrible. Oh, yeah. That sounds so brutal. Yeah. Tough break. And one of the hallmarks and tragedies of Double Dragon is the platforming. Platforming is not easy, and oh man, oh dear. Right. To think I lost a whole life just like that. You know, there was a trick you could at the start of the game you could select the 2-player mode but 2-player B, and then basically you fight your brother in the game. You fight the other Double Dragon, and each time you kill him, each time you bring his health down to 0, you get an extra life. And if I recall, that's how I might have played this game back, because it seems like it's so hard to play through this game with so few extra lives. I'm just thinking about the final boss. The final boss was a tank, and he wasn't a tank literally, but he was just very difficult. And yeah, inevitably you're gonna lose lives fighting that final boss, and I just can't imagine doing it with the few lives that they gave you when you start the game. You have to pretty much make a perfect run and not die in any of the stages, and not fall into the water, and not... This game was challenging. I think I'm gonna have to do the trick. I'm gonna have to replay and do the trick with the fight my brother and get the extra lives and stuff, because I don't think it's not even... I don't even think it's feasible to do it the other way. Oh man. Wow. Well, this is one way to try to avoid getting... Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like this, because my health is already so low. Alright. Not so fun memories of this stage. It was very cool to look at, but it was not easy to make these jumps to these disappearing platforms. Oh my. Oh my. Oh yeah. Many a playthrough came to an end right around here. Yes. You know what? Oh dear. I thought I was being smart by doing that. Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is all coming back. I wonder if I ever beat this game with a genuine playthrough with just the basic number of lives. It just doesn't seem feasible. Oh man. What in blazes? Alright, we'll go again. we'll go again. Oh, so yeah, I think I'm going to use the cheat. Leave my brother alone. Only I can abuse him. And I think this is, they put this aspect in the game just because in the original game, Jimmy Lee, which is the other brother, he is actually bad. He's evil. I'm not sure why. I think he was under mind control or something to that effect. Or he was taken as a baby or something like that. They also exploit in the cartoon as well. It was a Saturday morning cartoon. They made a fighting game based on the Saturday morning cartoon. And it seemed to have been really popular because there was, you know, there were toys and stuff to go with it. The theme song was kind of, well, it was the 90s, so the theme song was oh yeah. So this is all around like 1994. I remember it, 1994, that there was this Double Dragon cartoon. Yeah, but it might seem like a cop-out, but it just doesn't seem feasible that we could beat this game the other way, you know. It just doesn't seem feasible. So you beat the snot out of your twin brother, you get some extra lives, and now we could press on. I honestly don't recall if I used to play through this game without doing that. And I know I said I didn't want to play through these games with any cheats or hacks or tricks or anything, but I don't know if that counts. I'm not sure if that counts, because it's, you know, it just using the mechanics of the game, right? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll attempt it, but you know, without doing that little trick, so to speak, and see if it's. I really can't remember. It seems like it's a big challenge to do it any other way, but maybe I used to. I can't recall. He's getting ready to throw a knife. These guys. So here we go. The brutality of this game. These guys are like the worst kinds of vigilantes ever. You know, at least Batman has his one rule. These guys, they don't hesitate. They knock you out, throw you off a building. These guys. And these guys teach martial arts in a dojo. I don't know what they're teaching their students. You know, take the law into your own hand, knock people off buildings. Woo. It's rough in that city. Wow. Those very visceral punches. This guy seems like he's a little upset with me. I mean, those punches are brutal, man. Okay. So in the original Double Dragon, what I was getting at was that your brother was an enemy. I don't think he was the final enemy, but so they left that in where you could fight your brother, and that's something in the arcade game as well, if I remember. Now, Double Dragon 1 is based a lot of the original arcade game, and I can't even recall if it's that one, because Double Dragon 1 for NES was a one-player game, and I don't recall if the original arcade game was also a one-player game. It seems kind of odd that they would name the game Double Dragon if the original was a one-player game. So I'm not sure how that. I think the original arcade game was a two-player game, but they changed certain things for the NES release. That's what happened, and because you couldn't play as with the other brother, they made it a story element that he was evil. So and I guess it kind of sticks. It kind of stuck. This game is very, very fast-paced. It's ridiculously fast-paced. So I'm going through a little faster this time around because we already looked at all the story elements up until the point where I tragically fell into the pit of spikes. These guys. And I mean, Double Dragon was the archetype for games like Streets of Rage, and even the TMNT games. Not the first one for NES, but the subsequent TMNT games based. I know for a fact Double Dragon wasn't the first beat 'em up game. There was a game called Vigilante for the NES as well, and then there was River City Ransom. So the idea of the side scroll and beat 'em up, but I think Double Dragon might have been the most popular of them. And I mean, there were lots of them for the NES, for the SNES. Games like Captain Commando and Knights of the Round and things like that. That came out originally in arcade and then went to the... Oh, of course, Final Fight. How could I forget Final Fight, So, all of those games are dead to Double Dragon. and the other games that emerged at the start of the genre like Vigilante and River City Ransom. So, and then you would see some of the games like Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi. So I mean Shinobi preceded Ninja Gaiden. And that's a series I'm going to cover. It's a Genesis, it's a Sega series. That's a series I'm going to cover because I love those games. And Shinobi 3, that one was really amazing. And I tried to replay it like more recently. I mean, not in the last 5 years or so, but I tried to replay that game, and for nothing I could get to the end. And you know, that's really amazing to me, that a game that I was good at, that I, for whatever reason now, I can't play that game to the end. And these guys are a menace. And then there's that other guy's gonna come, the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. Yeah, this stage, oof, wow. This guy, oh my, oh. Like I said, I can't say if I actually used to play through this game with one life, not one life, with just the basic set of lives that they give you at the start. It seems very unlikely that I did, but maybe I'm just out of practice. Oh man. I just wanted to throw it just because I just feel, oh, I miss. Okay, here we go. Right. Right. Whew. Yeah, yo. Try. That sounds so brutal. So I'm not about to fall in water like last time, I hope. That's so rough. And if I recall, in the first one, when you were fighting an enemy, you would see their names. So for some reason I know that the name Linda pops into my mind when I fight the female enemies. The big giant guy, he's a Bobo. Then there's a character name, I know there's a Chin, which sounds not so politically correct nowadays, but They were named these enemies. And in Double Dragon 1 for the NES, there was a Street Fighter style one-on-one like B mode to the game. And for sure, that's where you would have seen all of the different characters' names. It wasn't as complex as Street Fighter with the special commands and stuff, but you know, hey, people borrowed from each other back then, and I should say, they drew influences from each other. Getting those moves a little more consistently this time around. That's one heck of an uppercut. Alright. I tried to get away. Yeah, I'll just walk away this time. But these guys, I would have liked to. Okay. Trick is this. Okay. Yeah. This is for the abuse I suffered in the last stage. Here we go. Here we go. So it's not good to get cocky and stuff, so I'll try to take my time, because this game will humble you very quickly, and those lives could disappear very, very quickly. What was the timing for this thing? I'm trying to do it in... Right. Yeah, boy. That knee was... He seems so afraid coming out there by himself. Yeah, I would be too. So let's see if I could do a better job with this. So far so good though. I actually only lost one life in the whole playthrough so far. So So I think at this point, if you're playing on practice, game over. You don't get to proceed any further. Oh wow. Oh wow. It's all coming back to me. Oh man. This stage. Oh my goodness. It is. And you have to make the jumps. If you fall, you basically get dragged off. Oh, damn this. Oh man. You have to make the jumps. You have to make those jumps. Whew. Oh yeah, this is all coming back to me now. This stage is brutal. Oh, this guy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, your only chance is to basically get rid of these guys, because you... Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. The soundtrack is still banging. Still banging. But oh man, these spikes and the wheels and oh yeah, this is... Remember this. Trick is not to be impatient with these kinds of things. Drop like a sack of potatoes. Yeah, I don't think I can make that jump. You have to do it in 2 jumps. Oof, well, thank you. I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm taking it. Oh man. Yeah, you just basically have to get rid of these enemies as soon as you have to make use of the spikes, because oh man, jeez, this guy. This guy ducked my knife through. That was amazing. Yeah, one of you cost me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This guy, for some reason, just reminds me of Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Y'all are being menaces. This guy is taking so much damage. Wow. Oh, jeez. Well, this is the end of the stage, apparently. So I'm not going to argue about it. Whew. Thank you. for small mercies. No, 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 no. Jeez. Where's that uppercut, man? I need that. Come on. Ah. Wow. Yeah. This game had quite a few stages. It's all coming back to me now. This game had quite a few levels. Soundtrack is banging though. Soundtrack is banging. But this game, and you don't get any extra lives in this game. Wow, this game is so. Yes, you could have abused those power moves, but it seemed fair to me. Oh yeah, and then just fight you. Oh dear. What in blazes is going on here? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Well, he's not quite as terrible. But for the life of me, I'm trying to remember how that final battle goes with, because if it's what I recall, you know, it's possible to lose lives like, wow. Oh yeah. Oh wow, 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 wow. These guys, they were incredibly quick, and they have projectiles, and they have these guys will they bring another one. These guys. Wow, another one. 4. Jeez, jeez. These guys were no joke. These guys were no joke. Oh man. These guys. Looks like one. What is that? What is that? Looks like, okay. So one died. Oh yeah. Dude has a Hadouken. this. And I believe if you're playing on Warrior, it's at this point the game ends. Yeah. Hey, I got the extra life. As I recall, I'm going to need it. Yeah. This guy was no joke. Yeah. He had some. Yeah, that move was. Oh, dear me. This guy was no joke. I remember him very well, and I remember that. Oh man! There we go. There we go. Yeah, you didn't want to be on the receiving end of that at all. Jeez, please. And he didn't want to be on the receiving end of that somersault kick. Ugh. Oh man. Oh no no no. Whew. Wow, didn't think I'd do it. Didn't think I'd do it. Yeah, this game was pretty dope. Total fantasy, but much like Ninja Gaiden, you know, the love interest coming back to life. Yeah. Double Dragon 2: The Revenge. Very cool game. One of my personal favorites. Lots of good memories playing this game. Back when there were two-player co-op games. You know, that's not so popular in modern times. Very cool game. The end. So thank you very much for joining me for my playthrough for Double Dragon 2 The Revenge for the NES. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, and comment. I look forward to seeing you guys next time around. Take care. Bye.